Hi, and welcome to Principal Shorts, the podcast for principals who have barely 7.5 minutes for lunch and no time to eat it before 2 p.m. I'm Stan Baker, along with your co-hosts Shelley Steele and Steve Young. We're retired educators who worked in Ontario in neighboring school districts using restorative practices, and now we're coaching principals and new principals in restorative practices. And we have a couple of podcasts, and in this one, we focus on a problem of principal practice, and then we provide one or two practical strategies to make your day just a little bit easier. To kick things off, here's Paula, our AI voice assistant, to tell you a little bit more about what we do.
Hi, I'm Paula. At Restorative Resolutions, we specialize in equipping school principals and staff with effective restorative strategies to make things right when things aren't going well. Are all the tasks you're asked to do reasonable for you to do? If not, then listen in to the rest of this podcast.
Here's today's principal problem of practice. How do I come up with an answer to all the questions that staff, parents, and students ask me every day? Let's listen to what Dr. Nathan Ying, Deputy Superintendent of Abbey Schools in Abbotsford, British Columbia, has to say about this.
When we think about decision making, we talk about, it's one of the first things I noticed is when I moved into a vice principal role, all of a sudden, you don't realize all the decisions that have to be made. I can clearly remember thinking an early experience with, wow, like I've just had 5 people come to my door and they've asked 10 things. I don't have the answer. I'm feeling like I need to answer. And so we need to, again, when we look at the people and the personal leadership domains, the ability to reflect on and build capacity to make sound decisions. If there's anything that gets a school leader in tricky territory, it's feeling like they have to make an immediate decision or give an answer, right? And so my response is, unless it's a safety concern, there's nothing that's forcing you to give, you can take some time, right? So we try to have conversations from a growth plan process or from an evaluative process to focus on these different leadership domains to build people up and to reaffirm for them this particular skills, right? So the ability to form and support good relationships with the people you work with, your ability to have a growth mindset from a learning lens, your ability to be a reflective leader, right? So when we think about First People's Principles of Learning, what I often, this is true for myself, the ability to flex your reflective and reflexive muscle, right? To build on and to continue to reflect on the experiences and the knowledge you build over time as a leader and make yourself a better person and a better leader.
So you heard Nathan Ying say it. If it's not a safety concern, there's nothing forcing you to give an answer right now. And that really rings true in my experience as an elementary principal, that hasty answers or decisions were not always the best ones and often led what Nathan calls tricky situations. I'd call it conflict and tension. So here's practice number 1. Ask yourself, and you may even want to say this out loud to the person you're asking, is this a safety concern, one that needs an answer right now? I like verbalizing what I'm thinking so I can hear it, and so can the other person. Practice number 2, ask yourself, is this a question that I need to answer now? That is this my problem now, or can the other person answer it? I like to buy some time to think in the moment by also asking the person, well, what do you think? Practice number 3, take the time you need to make a decision and follow up with the person asking.
It's Paula again. 3 things on this. Is this a safety concern? Is this a question I need to answer now? Follow up. I'll ask again what I mentioned earlier. Do you have an answer for every question at school? If not, and if you're new to your P or VP role in the past 3 years, then send Stan an email to stan@restorative.ca.
Right you are, Paula. Answering questions takes practice. So let us know how we can help you as a new school administrator with all the questions coming your way each day. And finally, don't skip your lunch today. You deserve that full 7.5 minutes. Thanks for listening.